It is no secret that I am obsessed with Manam. I visit it so often every time in Manila, and I am here in Manila a lot. In fact, I have featured it so much in my Philippine vlogs and also in my TikTok and in my Reels. This video is going to be all about my favorite dishes in Manam, or even the new ones that I'm gonna try. I am on a mission to try everything in their menu. I think I'm getting there. Why don't we start with breakfast? Huh? Shall we? Let's go. They are literally everywhere here in BGC. I think in BGC alone, there are about 3 branches. So I know in some countries, a branch is only for banks, but in the Philippines, if there is a different store, a different location, we call it a branch. Here in BGC alone, there are 3. One in SM Ora, one in it's underneath Ascot Hotel, and one in Uptown. I've been waiting for a while and no one's approached me yet to get my order. I'm hungry. Ate, isang daing na bangsilog, saka ube sago. Salamat, thank you.
Wala naman po silang allergy, ma'am, sa pagkain. Ano yung isang daing na bangsilog and isang ube sago.
Salamat. So I wanted to get asilog. Asilog is it's a rice breakfast dish, normally served for breakfast, but you can eat it anytime, obviously. In the Philippines, it's silog because si is sinangag, which is garlic fried rice. And log is itlog, which is a Filipino for egg. And then it comes with a variety of meat, may that be fish, sausage, or beef, whatever it may be, right? So I got a bangsilog, which is bangus, which is a kind of fish, dried fish, salted fish, amazing. And a ube sago, which is my favorite drink here, which is a shake with ube. I think at this point everyone knows what ube is. And a sago. Yeah, call it sago. Basically, spelled different, spelled the same but pronounced differently in Filipino and English. It's the bomb. It's really good. I was contemplating between the beef tapa, which is a bit more tapsilog, which is the OG, it's the original one, and the bangus because it's obviously the OG, but I love a fish over meat, and it's really hard to get a good dine or that good fish in Sydney. So I thought I'd give that a go, especially that fatty one in the middle. Oh, I'm excited. I don't take reservations, but obviously because it is breakfast, quite early, not a lot of people here. It's quite empty. There are only 3 tables available, but I've been to this one once and I had to queue up outside during lunchtime, and the one in 7 Neo near Ascot and Shangri-La, the fort, that's always busy. Even for breakfast, that was still relatively packed when I went there last. And the one in Uptown, again, always busy. Breakfast would be the quietest, and I believe they serve, no, not I believe, I'm certain because I have done it. Even for breakfast, they would serve their normal dishes if you want to give that a go and have more of a brunch and not be here during the peak hours. The ube sago in the flesh. So good. A friend of mine, Grace, she now lives in the States, right? And she went here. She didn't like Manam. Not everyone likes it, right? Like, each their own. But this one, she'll love. I've never met anyone who doesn't like this drink. I'm literally texting my brother right now. Every time I'm in Manila, I would send him a photo of the ube sago. Just like piss him off. Kuya's big brother, by the way. So good. I think there's some sort of coconut milk in it. And then obviously the ube, which is a purple yam. And the sago. They're the small ones, which is also go should be like that. They put vinegar and everything. Oh, it's too much. Okay, it's different in the photo, but still yummy. Still yummy. That was $537 for 2 things. The drink was about $150, $170, and then the rest was on the food. And then they do charge a service charge as well, which was about roughly 40 pesos forgot what the percentage is for the service charge. And then I left a tip of the rest of my coins, which was about 32 pesos, which is not bad. I did pay in cash because cash is still king here in Manila or in the Philippines in general. But in Manila, everyone accepts cards. And she actually came with a machine, an FPOS machine, as I paid. But I am trying to finish all the cash that I have, so I did pay in cash.
For dinner, I wanted to try something different. I had my favorite palabok, but this time it's in the black squid ink sauce instead of the traditional prawn-based orangey sauce that you would see, but it's still the same crispy noodles. I can't say I'm gonna try this again. The original version, well, the prawn orangey version is still the better option. I just didn't quite like this one, but you know, that's what life is about: trying new things, discovering and finding out what you like and do not like. This one is in Uptown Mall. As you can see, I was seated outside even if it's so hot because they are very busy and the only tables available are outside. That is always the case, so if you don't mind that, then that is your spot. It's a good spot for people watching and watching the light show as well, which could get very hot because it has fire. And even if I was by myself, I had to try the puto bumbong. Puto bumbong is a dessert made out of sticky rice that is traditionally only sold in the Philippines during Christmas time, and it's my favorite. It has coconut, butter, and I believe this one from Manam has cheese as well. It is now available all year long to my delight.
It's my last day in Manila and I am heading to Mall of Asia for my third visit to Manam, which is actually surprisingly relatively low for a normal visit of moi. But I've been quite busy meeting with a lot of friends and none of them have been to Manam. But I'm heading there for brunch or lunch as it's already 11 p.m. But before I do so, I wanted to tell you a little bit more about the history of Manam. Manam actually started once I've already moved to Australia. I can't remember when they opened up, but they're relatively new in the world of hospitality. They're relatively new here in the Philippines. They're part of a group. I should have looked at the name of the hospitality group, but they own a few brands and restaurants here in the Philippines. In fact, they have grown so fast that they have just opened up their first store overseas, which is in Singapore, and there's actually a lot of Filipinos in there, so that makes sense. I love them because of two main things, right? They have different sizing in their dishes. You have small, medium, large. If you're by yourself, you can try a small and try 2 dishes at least, and it won't stuff you. If you're a couple or a group, you can order a small or a medium and try multiple dishes as well, and you won't feel too stuffed because you're not getting a full serving, which is pretty good, which is pretty smart, I would say. And the second one is that the way they have their menu is that they have the classic way of how a Filipino dish is made, and they have a twist, they call it, which is like a modern twist version of that dish. And what we're gonna have for brunch today is my favorite dish out of all the dishes in Manam, and it is a twist version of my favorite sinigang. We do Kapampangan food, arguably. It is a Kapampangan. It is Kapampangan, which is from the province of Pampanga here in the Philippines, not too far from Manila. And they are quite known to have good food in that area. And no doubt, Manam serves pretty damn good food. Hence, people flock. Lots of people go. They don't do reservations, so you gotta get in there early. I showed you how quiet it was yesterday at breakfast. Let's see how Mall of Asia is a massive mall. I'm going at lunchtime, so let's see how busy it would be in comparison to SM Aura, which doesn't get that busy. I would say the price point is, if you're a local, depending, one can see it as a midpoint, mid-range, one can see it as expensive. Probably no one will really say it's cheap, right? If you're a foreigner or a tourist and you earn dollars, then it's more in the midpoint, I would say as well, and one can argue even relatively cheap. Anyway, I'm starving, let's go. As expected, there is a massive queue, but I've decided to power through it because I am by myself, so it's relatively going to be easy for me to get a table for one than the other big groups. I am starving, and I was telling my boyfriend on my way here that if there is a massive queue, I might not bother with Manam because I haven't eaten anything. But I think I'm fine. I can't not have my favorite sinigang and palabok before I go. It's so loud in here, but I made it. That was pretty quick, pretty quick. I was impressed. I got my favorites, all in small, the crispy palabok and the watermelon sinigang, and I am trying the dalandan juice as well, which I don't think I have tried, so I'll let you know. I'm excited. I'm starving.
That definitely hit the spot. Worth the travel, worth the wait at Mall of Asia. So let me tell you about these two dishes that I got. And these are my go-to, the ones that I always and must get whenever I go to Manam. So the crispy palabok is a crispy version of a palabok, which is a rice noodle dish with plenty of seafood. The sauce is really made out of seafood broth. I have made it myself and used prawn heads for the broth. And then it's got squid, prawns, and other seafood that you can think of. I used to not like it as much because my first food poisoning is from a palawak, and that was dreadful. The dalandan juice was very refreshing. It was a good balance to break up the seafood to go to my sinigang. The soup is usually made out of a tamarind base, but this one is watermelon, as the name watermelon sinigang suggests, and some tomatoes, and it's made out of beef short ribs. Sinigang is usually pork, fish, but the beef short ribs just makes it really elevated and the umami flavor. I make it back home in Sydney, just a normal sinigang, but with beef short ribs, and it's just mwah.
Tried to find a quiet spot, the best I can find here. That was a really good lunch. I managed to walk around, burn some calories, did a little bit of shopping. As you can see there, I will be heading back to my hotel, then to the airport. And I'm glad I have devoured some Manam. You know what? Actually, not everyone is a fan. I know some locals and some friends who personally do not like Manam, but 9 out of 10 of people that I know actually love it. So I'm sure and I hope that you do as well. If you are a foreigner visiting the Philippines, it is a good way to ease into Filipino food. Let me know in the comments if you've been or your favorite Filipino restaurant and Filipino food. Thank you so much for watching. See you again next time. Bye.